Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, and thank you for stopping by. Alright guys, this video is the second video that I'm going to do today on this particular topic. Now, earlier this morning, we did a bullet points episode around another politician in Philadelphia who was caught in some sort of crime, crossfire, carjacking, basically a symptom of the problems that are going on in Philadelphia because the crime is off the charts. But in that video, I teased that this was really interesting because once you pull on this thread, the sweater kind of unravels. And what I found on this individual who actually was part of this whole caught in the crossfire kind of thing, the city councilwoman in Pennsylvania, this is really interesting because the things that she's been associated with, even the council she's been named to, are directly correlated to the actions that caught her in that crossfire that everyone is going through on a day-to-day basis in Philadelphia, and honestly, anywhere else is a big city where gun control politicians are causing the problems because they're not doing anything about the criminals. This is really, really important for us to understand what happens and always start to pull that thread because the sweater quickly unravels. Now I'm going to show you everything in detail. There's linked in the description box below to stack on what we covered today on this earlier episode of Bullet Points. I'm going to say a quick read from our sponsor who made this video possible, and then we're going to hit it and hit it hard. I cannot wait to show you guys this stuff. Now, our sponsor, Armed American Supply, is a small family-run business owned by a retired law enforcement officer and his wife. They design, print, and ship everything in-house from their shop in southern New Jersey. This week, they are running a buy two and get one free sale. If you are the type who loves quality Second Amendment and blue-collar apparel, this is your chance to grab 3 for 2 in the description box below. And thank you so much to Armed American Supply for making these videos this week possible. But now, guys, I want to show you exactly what the councilwoman got caught up in and this is the whole web that she's weaved, whatever, for herself. Check this out, and her city, unfortunately. Now, this is from CNN because there's another problem in Philadelphia, a guy named Larry Krasner. He is the DA there, okay? Check this out, from CNN. Philadelphia's homicide surge is a warning sign for Democrats. This is an opinion piece on CNN. This was 8:15 a.m., January 18th of 2022. So this was a while ago, a couple months ago. Listen to what it said. Philadelphia had more murders in 2021 than New York City, a city over 5 times larger than the city of brotherly love. One would think such a sobering, horrifying reality would cause local elected officials to respond forcefully to a carnage of this magnitude. Instead, liberal Philadelphia District Attorney Larry Krasner responded in December saying while gun violence has risen, other violent crime had not. Or, quote him directly, quote, "We don't have a crisis of lawlessness. We don't have a crisis of crime. We don't have a crisis of violence." This is record-setting stuff, but listen to what the actual person who was caught, the opinion piece this morning, check out what she's been connected to. Councilmember Jamie Gauthier is selected by the National League of Cities for Task Force to reimagine public safety. Reimagine public safety. Translation, defund the police. That's what that means, okay? Well, there's a National League of Cities. Check this out. This is what she said on the same site. Quote, "Public safety is the most urgent and fundamental human need, and it's the responsibility of government to work with communities in creating that sense of security," said Councilmember Gauthier. "Feeling safe on your block is a human right. Between violence at the hands of police and a near-record homicide rate, unfortunately, constituents of Philadelphia's black and brown neighborhoods are living in fear. We must address this head-on, and I am grateful for the opportunity to do just that as part of the NLC's Public Safety Task Force." Now, this is something that's brand new. It's like 20 members are on this council. This is what she said in Philadelphia Magazine. Again, this is the person who was caught in the crossfire. Quote, "Institutional racism doesn't get eradicated by one city budget," Councilmember Jamie Gauthier, who voted in favor of last year's budget, told the press in June. "Achieving true racial justice in our city is going to require difficult conversations and intensive policy change." Again, this is the person who got caught in a gun battle. In February of 2021, the National League of Cities, NLC, launched the Reimagining Public Safety Task Force made up of local leaders from across the country. The task force recommendations report, A Path Towards Safe and Equitable Cities, released in October, outlines 5 high-level recommendations for city leaders to help improve the ways in which they ensure safety of all residents. Now, this is something that Jamie Gauthier said in relation to this again. Quote, "The interconnected nature of mental health, physical health, police violence, community violence, and trauma has reached a boiling point, and it's up to all of us as elected officials to think beyond what we have always done." This woman is a through and through proponent of defunding the police and reimagining public safety. The same person who the opinion piece that we wrote this morning on was caught in a gun battle. If you've got a city that is not arresting people, the capture rate and the close rate and the conviction rates are abysmal, below 50%, what do you expect to happen? Particularly if you're defunding the police. I got one more thing for you. This is what the NLC does. This is why you do not do this to a city and to the people. Direct municipal government leadership towards public safety and well-being for all. Balance the respective roles of government agencies, residents, and partners. Significantly expand the use of civilian-led and community-based well-being and prevention-focused strategies. That's all the violence interrupters. That's all the pay people not to be violent. Embrace full and transparent oversight and accountability for law enforcement. Seek guidance and support from peers and experts with assistance of the National League of Cities. That's really interesting that the people who are nominated out of Philadelphia to this NLC, the National Leadership Council, or excuse me, that wasn't what it is, the National League of Cities, is a person who is heavily involved in defunding the police, reimagining public safety, gets caught up in a gun battle, and then says people shouldn't have to live this way, even though the policies that this person is involved in is creating the system. And that's what I have for you guys. That's the bookend of what we talked about this morning. I hope that tied it together for you because there was so much there. I couldn't fit it all into one video earlier today. Thank you so much. I'll see you on the next one. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you tomorrow morning on the bullet points. I'm Braden. See you later.